Welcome back to a new video. So I'm getting this out a bit later than normal because I had a cold day at work, so I didn't have to go to school today, and I was able to sleep in quite a bit. So I was able to take my time getting to this video and editing. Now, the title says modifications, or has modifications in the title, and that's because I had to modify this workout pretty heavily, which is really annoying because I came into this day, back's a little sore, it's a little tight, but then I'm doing snatches and they all feel good. I don't have any issues. I don't have any increased tightness, any spasmy feeling. I'm just hammering through these. I had 4 doubles. They started at 90. They all felt really good as far as the technique went and as far as just my body being in the correct positions. Now, am I too far pitched over, and maybe that's a compensatory thing that I'm doing with my body because my back's tight? I guess maybe, but as I'm doing these more, I look slightly more upright, and I don't have any discomfort. When I say any, there's zero. So I'm completely confident as I'm doing these, I'm just going to be able to do this full session and have no issues. But after these snatches, I had what I changed to back squats. Originally, it was front squat triples, which I figured would start to give me some problems. So I changed them to back squats. And as you'll see when I get to them, and actually here you see me taking really smart jumps even in the snatch. I went to 94, then went to 98, which is normally the jumps that they recommend if you give it white lights. Is usually about 4 kilos. So I'm getting serious with my training if I'm taking 4 kilo jumps on lifts and not just going to 95 and 100. You see here is 98. But when I did 70 kilos in the back squat, nothing. Completely fine. Felt good. Everything felt normal. Then took a normal jump to 120, and even unracking it, I started to feel my back tighten up. Started to feel that little spasmy feeling, and so I racked it, or at least I tried to unrack it again, and I kept feeling it. And then I sat down for a minute. I was stretching, and I went back to it, and I kind of just forced myself to go through the range of motion just to see, if it's just a mental block that I have. Because there you can see I started to spasm, and so I just stopped. And I don't want to get into this block where it's I can't even do 120 kilos in a back squat or something because I'm feeling a little bit of discomfort in there. It's really I'm starting to feel it cramp, and it's if you know that feeling in your muscles, it's a very unpleasant one when you're starting to feel something start to do that, and it's something that is natural to avoid. And it's odd because I haven't done anything to strain my back, or I haven't had any sort of injury to it. It's literally just picking up a beagle and then just lifting weights, and just however I was lifting weights, I suppose, was doing it. But you see here, I kind of waited at that spot to make sure nothing was going to do anything weird. Normal squat on the way up. On the way up, felt nothing, and then on the way down, it's really just on the way down. And so I decided to stop here because it wasn't improving. It wasn't feeling any better. Didn't get any worse. And you actually see here me doing a radically different exercise than what I do, leg press. And I was experimenting with this, not because I necessarily like leg press or anything like that, but I just need to load my legs in some sort of way because it's my back that's a problem. It's not my actual legs. And I was hoping to get some sort of quad pump from these, and just the way that the leg press is and the way that I built it was fine. It wasn't feeling bad, and the actual leg press implement is good. But you can see there, I had the weights really light, and I just did 3 sets of 10 here just to see if I get some sort of stimulus to my quads. And honestly, I didn't really feel anything, which is fine. I felt more, I guess, kind of in my hips and stuff, but I just wasn't feeling it in my quads where I would like to, similar to a squat. So after I did these 3 sets of 10, I went over to the hack squat to do those, and those, the stimulus that I was feeling was a lot different, and it was a lot more similar to a squat. So I definitely want to continue to implement those at least until my back is mostly completely healed. I still want to probably still try to do some squats every day, but I'll most likely have to limit the load tremendously. I think that the most I'm going to be able to do right now is around 110, seeing how that is the weight that triggered it with the front squats, and about the weight that triggered it with the back squats. So if I stay 110 or below, I should be able to just do lots of reps. And I think right now that's going to be fine for just the back or the front squats, just to stick with really light weights and intensities and just do really high reps, at least until my back is loosened up. Then I can just add the intensity back in. But I obviously still want to get some intensity into my legs, not necessarily into my back. So the hack squat will be a nice implement for that because it does feel like a squat. I also tried to see, you can kind of see to the right here, that little red machine with the metal plate sitting on that little platform. That's a belt squat. And I tried to set that up because theoretically, you know, that's what the belt squat's for. It takes a load off your back and puts it all on your legs. But I just couldn't get it to be like, I kept stacking plates, and it got to the point where it's like I'm gonna have like 5 plates on there just to be able to do it, and just the thought of trying to set that up multiple times just didn't appeal to me. But what's nice, and I also, yeah, with that, the belt squat too, it wasn't really comfortable to have the belt on the way that it was just kind of pinching. But these were definitely difficult, but kind of in a squat type way. So they definitely isolate my legs and my quads in a really nice way. And what's even better is I didn't feel anything, you know, cramp up in my back in any sort. So it's a movement that until my back is feeling like 100% and I'm able to really, you know, push squats again, that I'll be hammering these quite a lot. I don't know how much I'll actually record these, because I mean, how interesting is it to watch me do hack squats? They're not really that let's say like it's a machine, so it's just going to be a track, so there's not really much technique to it. You're just trying to go all the way down and all the way back up. I will say, doing this here, I had 2 plates on, so 90 pounds. It was and you see me struggling to find the safety stairs, a lot lower than I thought it was, or I thought there'd be another like clip thing above. But the 90 pounds is probably a little bit too much, because what I was feeling was my low back come off the pad at the bottom, which isn't really, I don't think, that big of a deal, but it just means that it was flexing quite hard, my lower back. And obviously with this, you just want to use your legs. So I think in the last set I took off, I think I filmed it, I should say, because I definitely did. But I took off one of the 45s, and with the type of machine this is, you can have, you know, 145 on a side. It doesn't really matter if it's symmetrical. Other than the fact that if you're super OCD, you might need to, you know, have plates on each side, but because it's a bar, it doesn't really matter. Same with the leg press. You don't really have to have, for most, I should say, for most leg presses, it's just a straight bar across, so you could have plates on one side. I assume that at a certain point, you know, if I put 4 plates on one side and none on the other, it might be a little bit wonky, but I mean, it's only 45 pounds, and it's kind of designed for that. Yeah, for this last one, I took it off there. So I think for this, like, I'm just going to have to hammer these and just get some sort of stimulus into my legs, because at least for now, like, I can still snatch fine. I can still do at least power cleans perfectly fine. It's just weird. But what's also interesting too is when you're looking at a lot of like rehab stuff, which is, I think, what is normal to do when you're going through, you know, a weird thing like this, is one of the things I actually found, I think it was Squat University, was talking about like essentially twisting motion. So you try to isolate your lower back, or at least prevent your lower back from twisting, and then you just turn. So kind of like a normal stretch if you're just sitting in a chair like I am now, and then you just put your left hand on your right leg, and then you just kind of twist your back. That is really sore and tight, and particularly in one direction for me. So I think that is something that I just need to do as part of my mobility stuff, because I've been doing a lot of stretching, a lot of like work on that area, and it obviously hasn't resulted in me being able to train 100% normally. So I think with the rotational stuff and really trying to hammer that along with the other mobility stuff, I think it should start to loosen up. I think I'm just working too hard, you know, without like a dedicated deload or dedicated week of really light intensity. So I think if I just chill out for a little bit, I think it'll be fine, because it isn't flared up like it was in like the first day with it. I think it's still just sore and a little bit tight. So I just need to continue to work at it to get it to be as loose as possible before I start trying to load the back squats. But I mean, I can still snatch a clean jerk. So I don't know. I at least power clean. I think this week is like all power cleans, which will be even better, because I didn't feel any discomfort when I did the 110 power cleans the other day. So I have no idea. It's kind of a weird thing. Thankfully, it's not like a shooting pain or anything like that, so I don't have to worry about it being like an extreme thing. It's just kind of, I guess, a muscle strain, I guess you can call it, but who knows. But that's it for this one. I'll talk to you on the next one. Have a great day. Peace.